There we go. And picking up a refined resource in there will kind of break this setup. So we'll want to manually remove those. Usually it doesn't come up. Just when resources get knocked around. Alright, here should be good. Right. Probably a couple more nodes around I can do. So I'll get these guys. For the sellers, should probably be good enough, like 3 of these. I forget what the, let's see, how much is each? It's 90 for the Iliite, 225. Yeah, the orange is definitely more. Just the position on this thing. So they can reach these guys. That looks good. Yeah, one or two more. And for him here, thinking I'll want to build a couple of turrets. I've not actually done a turret yet in this playthrough. Should finally have enough parts to make that worth doing though. I'd rather not have to deal with protecting these guys all the time. Your entity count is kind of a big factor in the total lag though. So if you can get away with fewer turrets, that is preferable. This will just be sort of a I don't know. As far as turrets go, you want something that you know, you can control if you need to, and more or less one-shots all enemies that might come near. But the turrets themselves have a much larger activation radius than unanchored craft. Let me see. We want radar. Probably want the... Nah, we probably don't need power draw. Any other accessories we really want on this? I don't think so. Alright, so the center we'll just make out of batteries. I might actually need to buy more of. This will more or less just be a tower. Then we'll stick some guns on the side. And we'll also need a shield. Probably should put that in the middle now that I think about it. And we need to buy a few more of these. General idea is it shouldn't come up too often that this thing needs to defend itself, so we don't need to like hack on a whole lot of defensive capability. I would like just a SCU on the back of it, though. That would be nice. Looks like we'll need to raise it up a little bit, though. It doesn't attach to the ground. Need to armor up the bottom a little bit. We don't have to worry about Cab getting sniped. And just toss on a few cannons. And some power generation. Let's see, levels a little low. Should we raise up the bubble, or should we just move these down? Oh well, we'll raise up the bubble. Yeah. I'm basically never going to use these cannons, so they're more or less spare items used for this kind of thing. Looks like I need more of these armor plates, though. Might as well throw the SCU on the front. I think about it. Upside down. Alright, so that should be able to kill things and pick up all their drops. And we shouldn't have to worry about it. But we will need to buy a few more parts so that we can make more of them. Batteries. And some more of these guys. Yeah, let's see. We also want a turret over here-ish. Over here. Oh, one per cluster. Oh no. Oof. That could have been way worse. That was just a mass of fucking missiles. Scary. Fortunately, they just missed. Went right above the miners there. Didn't hit anything. Okay. Then one turret over here-ish. These will be basic, more of a mobile base when you acquire resources this way. Because they do run out after a while. You do have to move things around as you go. We'll see. Yes, should be over here. All loads in. Yep. That's our last active miner over here. Probably need to move him a little bit. Reach all this stuff. So, there's one concept I've been kind of fiddling with the idea of, which is a tree miner. So, as you know, there's really only two resources in the game that regenerate over time. That is the trees and these luxite crystals. Trees are a little bit easier to hit at, but so one thing I would like to do is make a system that can passively mine out the trees and maybe some of the luxite if it's in range. So the basic idea is it's going to be a rotating platform, and it's going to sort of have one arm that sweeps around in a circle, knocks down trees as they regrow, and should have an adjustable height to it, which might want a different anchor for that. At least just change the anchor. Let's see, so we'll get a little bit of power. We'll still need to defend itself. Let's see. Probably just do better future. That. Battery on top. And some solar. So this is going to have an arm to it. We want to buy some more 5 long blocks. Actually, I'm not exactly sure if the better future. Let's see, they just have a 4 long. I think they have a 5 long. Possible I just haven't acquired any. Oh, they do. Okay, so we'll buy some of those. Probably armor up the cab a little bit. And from here, it will just be, we'll arm out the side. Gotta figure out a good height for it though. So it's actually going to be using these big flails. The idea. And you do have to be careful about your placement for these guys. Because if the, well, right, so for most buildings, if you place them where a tree was cut down, you know, the tree can regrow in that location and cause some jank. But hopefully we'll build this in such a way that if it's rotating, it won't get caught like on a set of trees. Really, this Your Corp melee weapon is the best for that. See if we can get this baby to max length here. See how much room we have to work with. Like it can't go out any further than that, probably. Can a 3-block do it? Nope. 1 blocks from here. Yeah, so that's as far as we can go out. So we're going to put these along the entire length. Like that. And we'll have a separator. As I found out earlier, you actually just want the you want like multiple filters specifically for wood, just because of how fast these conveyors get going once you have it at max speed. Doesn't always get the resources otherwise. Get a large silo on there. We can have a second line running for the factories. You actually only need conveyors to that point, and have the seller after that. Dongle. Down. Set that to refined chunks only. That way everything gets refined. Set this to always build the rugged fiber on repeat. And as this goes around, lock down everything. Would like maybe build, or maybe put the cab in a different position. Oh, undo. Alright. Okay, why is it doing that? Shouldn't instantly break apart. This is like a building component. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to put the anchor in a spot where its height is adjustable by like a block or two. Ideally, these front, what are these called? Flail guards. Yeah. Ideally, the front flails on the main full stock shouldn't be actually utilized much. But they're there if we need it. Biggest concern is just getting stuck on the ground, which is not much you can do about. So, I want to take care when placing this down so that's not running into anything. Hopefully, we can stick this guy down. Here-ish. No. So, taking care to get this thing on a hill. Get the base on a hill that I can attach. And hopefully not run into the ground at any point. Okay, it's a little bit low. Try swinging this around. there's always a slight chance that the flails won't automatically activate. Okay. We have... Alright. Yeah, one refined resource got caught in there. I guess it doesn't automatically take them. Oh, I forgot to attach a refinery to this. Let's see. There we go. Right. Pretty decent return off of that. Take a swing around. Not quite hitting that, sadly. Now we can pick up all the wood that we missed, hopefully. Yes. Receivers are just long range enough. Did miss that one. Let's try putting this down in a different position. And you might be wondering what the setup I want to go for is to have this thing turn around automatically. That is simply to use the hover glitch. Put a couple wheels down on this guy. Now it'll automatically turn. Oh, yeah, and that having that hover there does make it a little bit hard to anchor. Attach it at the moment. Oops, a little glitchy. I would like to attach some basic weapons to this. Missiles are probably the best option. Put it over there. So that these guys will be their own turrets. Attach the hover. See if it makes a full rotation. Nope. Go a little bit higher. Yes. And unfortunately it rotates. Yeah. When you're building like this, it actually rotates the craft around its center of gravity. So it's a little harder to make it go exactly where you want it to. Okay. That turns around all right. It's in a decent position. And from here you might want to attach block collectors. So SCUs if you want. Oh, undo. Try that again. Okay. Stick a SCU right there. And really anywhere along the line. Need to buy more SCUs though. Thought I had more of these guys. Let's see, then I think I need there's at least some repair bubbles along the line of this thing. I probably need more of. Just along the stock should be fine. So they almost overlap. Don't need too many of them. It's like 5 blocks in between. Of course, you could use the non-mobile SCUs. Why not use these? These actually have the smallest profile aside from the venture ones, so. Ooh, that is a fair point. I might want to reduce the rotation speed if I wanted to actually pick up stuff. I want to see if the very outer SCU can actually pick up the parts. Nope. Ah. No longer on a hill. Anchor down there. There'll be some parts right on the edge for us to pick up. We can test that. Alright. Our normal turning speed. Slightly too fast. Probably just by getting rid of some of those. Go for another circle. Why isn't this working all of a sudden? Oh, it has rubber stuck in. Okay, yeah, that's just slow enough that I can pick up parts on the edge there. Like we have... Interesting. So this is like just a weird bug with these particular sellers, I guess. I'll have to switch to the mobile delivery cannons. We're gonna have that issue. So we'll do the same thing with that while we're at it. Wheels down again. Not as fast as I would like, but this way I can actually pick stuff up. And the trees honestly don't regrow all that fast, so this will cover everything nicely. We are a lumberjack. It's like I need one more receiver on the very end there. Come on. There we go. Other way around. Okay. Lumberjack complete. Probably don't want to put down a bunch of those guys too close to each other, though. Always a chance they might, you know, block each other's movement. So what blocks do I need to make more of them? More repair bubbles, a lot more conveyors, some dongles. Okay. Go ahead and buy those up. We've gone through quite a bit of money doing this. Better future. More repair bubbles. And that is our money. And goes away. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy on some hovers and float him over to the new base location. You plan on making this thing into just one giant mobile tech. It'll be our our ultimate efficiency miner. Really, if you want to go pure crafting, this is more or less the setup you gotta go with. Takes a little bit of setup to completely, you know, start a new one of these, because it does have all the resources in place around it. And yeah, if you pack it up, rather, if I weren't anchoring this, I'm gonna need some stabilizers. Right, so I mean, if I completely put this whole thing away, I would lose any resources that were currently being filled inside of these. Also, it seems there's a weird little bug where it displays these fabricators as though they're partially filled, or as though they're completely filled. If I like leave the area and come back, so this loads back in, it shows like, you know, like it shows 120 out of 120 for all these, which isn't accurate. So, only way to fix that is to reset each one of these. Bit of a pain. Let's see, where's the stabilizing? No, the stabilizing computer is active. I just need to adjust the total number of hovers. I think we're a little bit back heavy. Put a line down the front, rid of a few of these hovers, and attach a couple of the anchors. Looks like we still have too much forward propulsion. Listing to the left. What can I do about this? I suppose I should put some whatchamacallies down. Gyros. Oh, that's not lined up in the center, is it? Right. Gyros down the center. Up a little bit. This thing's pretty heavy, so I need a lot of gyros. Actually do much. Down some more of these. Alright. See if that's any better. That is the max power. Nice and high above the trees. Do not want this to run into anything. The only other thing to note is that we do not want this to exceed 60 miles per hour. Because then the resources will not stay attached. Might as well use the hover glitch on this guy. Get a bit more ability out of our movement. Wheels. Sub wheels are easily the best to use for the hover glitch as far as like convenience goes. They have lots of attachment points. Probably better to use a venture wheel though, just because they are lighter. Less of a concern that way. You know, you can get more speed. But with how heavy this guy is, yeah. So you see, once we like get right over 60 miles per hour, resources start falling off, which is no good. Even that out a little bit. One more up front. Okay. Hopefully this will be good enough. Testing that. Put this away. That away. Guard. Probably put this guy away completely. And we'll make our way. Oh, we have one vehicle over there. Right. This guy's gonna be my guard as I move to our next base location. There, that's all loading back in. Get some resources off of that. Very hard to cap your speed at 60 when you're using hovers, though. Our guard tech is having some issues with the terrain, I assume. There he fires. Finally got in range of me. Right. So here we have all of our resource collectors from earlier. Anchor down. Might as well put another better feature anchor on the rear of this guy so he doesn't float around a whole lot. Alright. And because this guy's on guard mode, he'll just kind of run into us. Readjust the shields a little bit. This very corner covered. And we go ahead and collect our wood guy. Come over here. And put him a little bit further out. Full, you know, somewhere where he'll be loaded in and will actually be gaining resources. He's max sized. Alright, we gotta make sure he's on a hill. Good, right about here, I think. No. Almost. A little bit further. It's hard getting the right position for these. Be good right up here, though. I think. And anchor. I can count on a few rocks. That face downwards. Just not shooting out rockets while we're doing this. Okay. Let's make sure these rocks aren't a problem. That looks like we're stuck on the ground. Let's see, get that to turbo. And get that set to that, so it's processing properly. Ah, well, that would help. Attach that there. And delivery cannon there. Snapshot. Wait a second. If we can get slightly higher patch plant. That should do it, right? No, just a little bit too low. And with how modular this thing is on the end, you can of course shorten it, move some of these if you don't want it to be the full length. Probably just make the anchor a little bit higher up. can work in this location. Alright. That way it'll get all the trees and not have any problems along the way. There's always a slight chance that the flails won't activate. If it runs into something, you know, doesn't always register as running into something. Alright, go and put down a couple more of those guys. And a lot of this terrain is just, you know, either just being used up by our machines or not flat enough to really utilize the lumberjack on. Unfortunate. But at least we'll get something out of it. It's some, you know, infinitely renewable resource user. That guy is not set to... Oh, he's damaged. Doesn't have his peacemaker anymore. Also, he has some fine resources. And like I need one more. These guys right over here. Okay. Looks good though. Oh, make sure these guys are set to guard. That would be helpful. Could actually do their job. See, even though he's out of my range, he's still able to attack that guy way over there, who isn't able to attack him back. Probably worth getting more of the rocket launchers, though. Those should be more effective. One more turret over here. Anchor down. These rockets, while they're kind of large, they're nice because they have pretty good, like 360 range, two of them. Also, their rockets have a bit of explosive damage that deal. Not as effective as the Hawkeye large missiles, but a little something. And put down a lumberjack over here if we can. Block position, too far away. Definitely the hardest part with large size techs here. Finding a place to craft them, or to, you know, deploy them. Then you gotta move them into position. Let's see, there should be a nice spot in the middle here where we can hit most of the trees. Just need to raise up the anchor a little bit. right in there. Cover most of the trees. We need to raise up the anchor another 4 blocks or so. Seems I might want to use different receivers on this. In the event of it's more awkward terrain. Also, that's running into the end there. Let's move it back. Oh, come on. That's such a nice spot. It ran into the hill. That should be clear. Yeah, I definitely need more powerful receivers. Pretty sure I need to buy some. Let's see. Bank it down. Options are this guy, which I feel like might be too large. Is that 3? No, it's 2. How many do we got? 14. How does it compare to the Geocorp? Slightly smaller. Yeah, this has better range to it. Alright. Can buy some of those. Swap them out. A little bit worried that receivers might run into something. But we need the range. So. Come on. That should cover us nicely. Need that anymore. Bank it down. Yeah, that lip is causing some problems. It looks like it's getting caught on the terrain again. Very unfortunate. Adjust its position once again. Probably over here more. See how that works. Just needs to be able to make a full circle. It's easier said than done. Oh! Made that hill. I don't think there's anything else to run into over here. And unfortunately, when resources fall off, they get like spread around the perimeter. So probably won't be able to pick any of those up. Alright. So that one technically works. Not sure at this point how many trees you can actually cover. But, you know, better than nothing. I lost the receiver there, didn't I? Alright. Okay, looks good. See if we can put down another lumberjack anywhere. Probably up here. Not a real good spot of land, but yeah, it's a little awkwardly hilly. Probably do one just like right here, though. Not a whole lot of trees to work with. What blocks are we missing? Ah, those. Forgetting we use tons and tons of conveyors on this thing. Imagine having to craft all of these conveyors. Takes like, I don't know, 30 seconds per conveyor. Some nonsense. Not worth the time. Okay. Oh, what are we missing? Yet more of those, wow. Oh wait, no, we're not missing. Okay. Just not showing up the numbers yet. Ah, no. Can be blocked. There we go. Just slowly move him into position. Ooh. Our turrets are doing their job there. Probably actually lower this a little bit since we have it on a hill. Jank and build mode. Alright. Thinking right about here should do. Why aren't you anchoring? Oh. Maybe I need to raise this up a little bit. Fine adjustments. Take it down. Probably just an issue with the hover. No? What is the issue? Nothing should be running. Oh, there we go. I had it for a second. Oh, some hitboxes running into another. Come on. There we go. Alright, put the hover back. See how many trees this actually hits. A few. Honestly, probably don't need the mobile that's used on this thing. Could just do Geocorp 1. Just rather large thing. Cover the area better though. Yes. Much better at collecting blocks this way. Set that to repeat. Now we're earning a fair bit per tree. Still not as good as our regular mining craft, but you know. Again, it's passive and infinitely renewable. Oh hey, he has lots of cannons on him. Also explodey bits. But he's gonna go up like... No, he actually has no cannons, just explodey bits. Where's this cap? Not a lot of good places to put down lumberjack. Ideally be more or less flat ground with lots of trees on it. But most of the trees around here are on pretty uneven ground. Might be able to lumberjack here. Might as well try that. Of course, then I'd have to buy a bunch of other crap. Ah, not that much. I have to have enough to make a few of these guys at least. It's really ideal to have like the lumberjacks if you know, are the type to want to build like a singular base, you know, and not move it around. Otherwise, there's only so much income you can get from an area. That. Swap, cannot swap. Fine, we'll go just change out the SCUs. There's our other lumberjack. Right. Nice money-making operation going. Ooh, it looks like we have some more clusters over here we can take from. It's gonna be awkward working with that terrain, though. Not sure if we can even put down miners on that hill there. Can a little bit. Hard reattaching. Huh, we might actually only be able to attach them by deploying. Yeah. Too steep of a hill. Get one in that way, maybe. Right on the edge where we're able to deploy. This is an awkward position to work in. Pretty much blocked by the ground in most spots. See if I can move up a little bit though. Definitely doesn't like that. Oh, might be one more spot I can connect to though. Basically all blocked. I'm sure I saw one position now. Oh well. We'll just have that one be jank. From there. Slight movements. There we go. Alright, and the last one. Might not be able to fit them all in. Get close though. Be at least able to fit 3, I think. Gotta get right up next to it. Just one there. Oh well. Probably end up with just 2, I guess. Alright. Best we can do. Cannot deploy. What am I missing? More cabs. Boy. Right about there. What am I missing? Anchor and refinery. Okay. Some of those. Some of those. Good work right on the field there now. Plays it here-ish. Alright, get him turbo. turrets seem to be doing a good job. Always hard working with the brain that way. Okay. From here, I kind of wanted to make a speeder. Travel around real fast. Like to see how fast we can get going with the hover glitch at this point. Let's see. Use these just as our bottom hovers. We have the furthest reach from the ground. Put down a SCU. Pick up all the stuff we drop. Probably excessive, but hey. Oh, that's as far as we can get. If we move our cabin a little, we can get one further. Yes. Okay. Maximum length. Now I'm gonna need a very light support structure for this. I'm not sure how light the Better Future stuff is. Just know the Venture is always good to use. Probably better going with Better Future though. Alright, so this is gonna need to be 5 blocks tall in some places, and then we can make just 3 tall in others. There we go. On the very ends. That'll be our basic support structure. And then we'll put down... Probably get away with actually just putting these down the center. Like so. I'm planning to use a Venture wheel instead of the normal GSO wheels, because they are a bit lighter, get a bit more speed using them. Probably need to buy some more hovers. A lot of hovers. I'm interested to see how fast we can get this thing going. Alright. Cover us for now. Now, large numbers of hovers like this, I'm pretty sure, cause a notable amount of lag. And we've already got quite a bit of that going on with all of our techs mining away. Here we're going to use our landing gear wheels. They have a side attachment. Small face upwards. Though I suppose if we're doing side attachment wheels, we can probably just use an even lighter version. Now that I think about it. The lightest, smallest wheels they got. Probably faster to remove them this way. Alright. Pretty sure the zoomers are as light as you can get. Not sure though. It's possible that some of these itty bitty GSO ones are lighter. But we'll go with the zoomers. Should all be upside down, yeah. Probably need to buy some more of these. Should probably put an anchor on this so it doesn't float right away on me. There. There and there. Oop. Well, crap. Yes, we have to do all that again. Sad face. Guess I should actually put this on a regular anchor while I'm building. Well. Let's see. Not rotating. I don't have the regular fixed anchors? Huh. Oh well. I'll do for now, keep us from floating around all wonky. And we'll want to attach this to the side and put the hovers upside down. Get this to about max length. Okay. Go ahead and make it like one, or I guess 2 blocks shorter than max length, just so that we can put armor on either end. Pretty much any armor that get, well, any like collisions we make from front is gonna like completely break it. Let's see, need the 5 long. That's that there. On the opposite end. Go. And 5 longs down the center. Probably need to buy more of these. Oh, there we go. And, well, yes, 4 long will fit. Oh, wait. There we go. 7 left. And the larger you build, the more input lag you have to deal with. It like has to reload the entire vehicle or whatever before you can put down additional blocks. More of those. And get some of those zoomer wheels, which I assume are the lightest. Fill out the second half. It'd be worth putting down the other set of hovers first. It is all facing the right way, right? Okay, good. Turn on some jams. It is too quiet in here. Right. Upside down. And all the way across. Hopefully we have enough. We're dealing with some very extreme forces while we're making this. Don't want it to become unattached until we are ready. $54 left. Possible we're slightly short. push speed to the limit. One left. Okay, gonna need some more. Of course, we did misplace a couple of these. Just one? Oh, I thought it was more. Okay. Could do this. Okay. Now for the top row buffers. Lined up properly, right? Okay. And you can see every time I put down a block, like, flashes all the connection points, showing that the entire vehicle is like being saved and reloaded. So I can't place down any blocks until it reloads the connection point. Alright. All we need from here is a little bit of armor on front. Well, probably don't need the armor at this point, but I'm gonna put it there so we don't have anything break. Something basic like that should do. I guess I don't have any of the right blocks. A couple of those. Takes a second for them to load into my inventory. Wait a second. I don't think those wheels are on right. That's bad. Is it the way that way the whole way across? No. Okay, I guess we just messed up the ones at the end. Should have the little red nub upward facing. Or right, downward facing, I think. Right? Yeah, downward facing. Redo that. Got you. Come on. The rest of them should be good, right? Yes. Okay. Reattach from there. broken wheels out. Okay, looks good. I have to remove some of the higher hovers so that we can access that area. Because if the wheels aren't all facing the same direction, it'll mess with their propulsion. So this thing might like flip over sideways. They're slightly different. Going to get a guy in here to pick up RMS. There we go. Switch into build mode, so we can see. Alright, see if we can get those wheels back in there. At this end. From the other side, I think. There we go. And here we go. Last ones. Alright, get the hovers back in. It might be possible to actually achieve greater speeds just by using like the hover boosters from Better Future, but we use the regular hover glitch, we should be able to have much better control of the vehicle itself, because it allows you to turn, move up and down just with these. There and there. Alright. Basic defensive structure. You put some other hovers on the bottom. Ideally, will be high enough that we won't need too many hovers. And for now, we will make this without repairs setup, so we don't have to deal with the extra weight that the power system will add. From here, we just need to attach hover power controller. It's this extra hover power for free. And we need to attach the stabilizing computer. Don't go nuts. Gonna save it. Alright, we're going out of build mode. Yes, this is an issue that can happen with, oh, I gotta change the control scheme. New hover car. Right. So all this force does cause us to list heavily. So we will want to attach some gyroscopes to this if we can. So I need to put an anchor on, I think. Probably would be best if we had a fixed anchor. Stick one in the center. Might be hard to find spots to anchor, but you know. Yeah. Adding a little bit of weight I think will help. See what kind of speeds we're getting. Shaking around pretty bad though. 180. I was expecting a little bit faster. Turns on a dime though. That is pretty nice. Wanted to increase the speed further. Definitely the best that I know of is just using the ion drives here. Attach them along the sides like wings. Ideally you want the ion hovers directly in the center because how the control scheme ends up working. You know, if you press right, all the left hovers will activate. If you press left, you know, all the right hovers will activate. Press forward, both will activate. So, if you can get just purely forward force by placing it in the center, it actually works out to your benefit. A bit more propulsion out of it. Put some of these guys on. Problem with having ion drives not centered is mainly just that they like they reduce your Like, okay, so you saw before I was like pretty much turning on a dime with the way I have the hover set up. Like, that would no longer be the case because it has the side hovers activating. Or that has the ion drives activating, which causes it to make wider turns because of side propulsion. I've had the issue before where actually having like one vehicle too laggy prevents you from switching vehicles. So, fair chance I'll... Let's see, 190? Eh. Not much of an improvement, sadly. Can be falling forward for some reason. I definitely didn't add as much of a speed boost as I was hoping. Ideally, you'd want like the center just completely filled up with ion drives for maximum speed, as far as I can tell. What I got as far as gyroscopes? Not a lot, actually. Doesn't help a whole lot. Yeah, I think it's just because the center of gravity is off. So, like, our center is a little bit low, and so these are considered above the center of gravity, and so they're ending up propelling us more of a downwards motion. Let's see, I suppose I can put these hovers up higher. Help a smidge. Get our center of gravity up a little bit higher. $190 still. Really hoping we crack 200. I'm pretty sure the way this is set up is it defaults to like a fixed anchor rather than, yeah. It'll always try and use this anchor instead of this. Let's save that. Might make an alternate version with the boost, with the ion drives in the center though. See if we can crack 200. Put them away for now. Probably use them as a base for another design I have planned. Looking to convert this thing into a vehicle though. Pretty much just add like a line of lasers across the front and a collection system. A little awkward to work with a system this large with hovers, though. just because of the speed restriction that you have to be stuck with. Very hard to prevent yourself from losing resources as you move. Cool seeing the thing's able to turn fully, right? Oh, look at him meleeing, trying to get behind me. Like a little scorpion. Unfortunately for him, the Geocorp weapons all suck. Thing needs more rocket launchers, though. Definitely not enough. Watch him suck up all those parts. Pretty cool. Pleased with how that thing turned out. Let's get one of these. Oh, I don't have enough parts. What am I missing? Cab. Down there. At any rate, I think that's probably enough for me. Just about mined out the area, it seems. So, need to pack up all these and move to a different location next time. Looking to make a couple more mobile harvesters, though. Really can't get all that much money off of the, well, off of just being stationary. Have to keep moving in this game. You want lots of money. Everything mines out eventually. At any rate, thank you all for watching. No, it wasn't the most action-packed stream since I'm out of, well, I can do missions now, but there's not much point if I'm maxed on XP. I think it's possible there's another scripted quest out there I haven't seen yet. But, generally not all that interesting, in my opinion. I prefer, like, mega projects and seeing, like, what kind of crazy stuff, like, crazy practical stuff, not just purely like, oh, that's nifty kind of deal. But anyway, I think I'm done for now. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.